Hey, what's going on, guys? Dude, I've had a very bullshit stressful day. I've actually had a stressful week, actually. Um, Last week, my buddy Caleb bought his first handgun, and, well, we're gonna go shoot it tomorrow. He's gonna go shoot it tomorrow. I'm actually gonna buy my first, revolver. He got himself a Heritage Rough Rider. So I guess in a way, we both got Tauruses. Taurus owns Heritage, and they also own Rossi, too. But, I'm getting a Taurus 605. It's gonna be my first revolver. I run mostly automatics like Berettas, Glocks, Smith & Wessons. But I've had a very stressful day today. What's up, Chill? So tomorrow I will own my first revolver. It's a 357 Magnum with a 38 special capability, and ooh, the Killer Cat class mod. Let's go. SMG gun damage plus 80%. That is a very... actually the legendary cat class mod can get a plus like 140%. You're finally done with high school! Congratulations, Chill. Congratulations, homie. Really, I'm proud of you, bro. I remember when I was in high school, it was such a weird experience. Speaking of high school, I managed to track down one of my high school crushes. Actually, she's been my crush since elementary school. I sent her a DM. I don't think she's going to respond to it, but, I don't know. We'll see how shit works. And, bro, she's honestly cool, bro. With all honesty, dude. Looks aside, bro, she's badass. She's a firefighter now. And, she just bought her first house. Like, crush status aside, I'm honestly very proud someone in my generation is doing really nice. Doing good for themselves and doing good for my community.
Another clean kill.
But anyway, today I dealt with some bullshit. There's this mean bitch at my job, and I ain't gonna call her a bitch. I'm gonna talk about how I want to talk about it. I'm about to sound evil, but when I explain it, it certainly won't be evil. So, as some people may or may not know, I'm a security guard, and well, when I worked the guard shack, like I'd never use the restroom just because it's a guard shack. The restroom is really small. It's like an airplane bathroom, except slightly smaller, if you can believe it. Because of how they have the plumbing set up. They have to make room for that. So, it's a bit of a process, but anyway. It's around the same size as like a bath. The sink's probably a little bit bigger, and the toilet's probably has a little bit more room, but it's just generally a smaller space, which is weird. I don't know how to describe it. It's strange. It feels like it's smaller than what it really is. But I never used the restroom, and this bitch had accused me of spraying shit on the toilet seat, which on the inside the toilet, not on the seat, but on the bowl, on the inside of the bowl. And I hadn't used the restroom all day, and so she just assumed it. That it was me. Anyway, long story short, anytime something happens, she's I'm the first one that gets blamed. And on top of that, she treats me like I'm incompetent. And on top of that, she's like a nitpicky Karen. She just if you don't file your reports a certain way, she lets the boss know. Not to mention that her and my supervisor, which he's the boss, kind of, sort of, not really, he's a supervisor. But he's essentially the boss on shift. They're like best friends outside of work, and it's caused it to the point where she can get away with whatever she wants to. She don't even have to do tours. She don't even have to do rotations. She can do anything she wants, get away with it. But God forbid, me and my other coworkers, we figure out a system that works and makes sense. We're the problem. We make too much sense. Well, anyway, yesterday, she was just bitching me out about the company phone not being charged. So I left it in the company car, because I don't really care. Not a big deal. It's at like 70%. And she's bitching that it's not at 100%, and you know, I just asked her a simple question. I'm like, why do you hate? So she came in and she put the phone on the charger. She said, why can't you ever have this phone charged? And I looked at her and I said, I don't know. Why do you hate me so much? You know, like, why do you hate me? just like that. She got offended by that. She said, I never said that. And I said, I never said you did. I'm just saying, you know, like, no offense. And I never said, and I didn't say this, but, like, no offense. You're a fucking bitch for no reason. You know what I mean? And she's just like, I don't know, she's mean. And, like, you know, like, the look on her face, the look of disgust, like, you can tell, like, she takes offense to my presence. And so my boss had, like, pressed me because they know they're best friends, and he's just like, what happened between you and Mela? And it's like, dude, she snapped at me about the phone not being charged, and so I asked her why she hated me. Like, you know, that's straight up what happened. I skipped all the little bullshit, I skipped all the little storytelling details, I just jumped straight into what happened. Nothing more, nothing less, just point blank and simple. Well, this motherfucker tries to say that she doesn't have an attitude and I have an attitude. Like, you bald-headed son of a bitch, you haven't seen attitude. I am Italian. If you want to see attitude, I can give you attitude. You know, I didn't say that, but, you know, he tried to accuse me of lying, saying that, like, I'm not telling the full story and how, you know, Mela's not like that, and this, that, and the other, and it's like, but it's the same shit every time, bro. Mela's not like that. He's just gonna blindly defend her. There's a two-tier justice system. And you know what? It's like, you know, and then, you know, he just kept getting heated about it because he wasn't trying to hear it. And then I stepped out and said it. And I said, well, I'm just telling it how it is. And then he got really heated and pressed. So he walks out the front door, turns around, and he says, the reason that Mela and I don't like you is because your work ethic sucks. And it's like, you fucking bald-headed, fat, diabetic motherfucker. The reason my work ethic sucks, it's like, dude, is that why there are contractors here doing work after hours and there's no after hours form printed out and you don't know that they were here? It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how is it that there are contractors on our roof and you don't even know it? They're not even signed in on the roof access form. You know, but my work ethic sucks. I come up to the front desk to relieve Mela when I'm staying over in the 4 in the morning doing a 12-hour shift. She's on her phone. The cameras aren't pulled up or nothing. She's just playing on her phone. She's bothered that I'm rotating with her. She's bothered that it's her turn to go out to the guard shack. She's bothered that she has to do something other than sit on her fat ass. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, but my work ethic fucking sucks. That had me pressed. So, I've made it my life goal to get my boss fired. I am going to have his job. As evil as that sounds, as petty as that sounds, he ain't going to talk to me like that. Your work ethic fucking sucks, his exact words. He dropped the F-bomb in front of a company associate, which our client site does not like that very much. And on top of that, like, there have been many instances where stuff has happened. I go to explain my side of the story, and all of my reasonings are just boiled down to excuses. For instance, this really annoying lady at my job, she doesn't know her head from her ass, takes forever getting trucks in, you know. She left me a line of 13 semi-trucks. That's 13 bills of lading I have to check. Make sure that everything matches the bill of lading, because, you know, if it doesn't match the bill of lading, you know, then we got a big problem, you know. We got a potential, like, they're bringing in the wrong stuff, the wrong trailer. You know what I mean? It has to match the bill of lading. It has to have the same, the seal numbers have to match, the load numbers have to match. Like, you know, it's not as simple as just buzzing a truck in. You know, like, there's a process. There are things and information that need to be readily clear. And, you know, she's like, we have to log it on a freight log so that when, you know, the government audits it, you know, if say this truck were to have missing freight or stolen freight, and, you know, they you know, trace it back down to where our site is, and they trace it down to whatever the case is, and, you know, if something doesn't match and we let it out, you know, we can be held liable. Like, you know, that's, you know, from the government. there's a bit of a process to it too, but you know, I'm not going to get into it. But long story short, you know, some pencil pusher in the office is looking out there. There's a line of trucks. Why isn't the truck at the end of the line not moving? Well, I don't know. Why are there like 13 trucks in front of him? Maybe if there wasn't 13 trucks in front of him, maybe he can get to the guard shack. You know what I mean? So my boss is heavily pressing me about this, and so I was honest, and I'm like, well, I had a line of trucks out there. I couldn't see all the way at the end of the line because I'm seeing the 15 trucks in front of me. That's what I'm concerned about. You know what I mean? If I get them in, maybe that other truck can get in and get out. You know? I mean, what do you? And then so he's like, why don't you shut down the guard shack to address the truck at the end of the line? Well, why would I shut down the guard shack to go check on a truck that's at the end of my line? I'm just making him wait even longer. It's like, it doesn't make sense. And no matter what I say, it's an excuse. It's just a two-tiered justice system at my job. And it's fucking irritating. It's irritating to me because I'm actually one of the few guards that actually gives a shit about, you know, what we're doing. It takes my job seriously, but I'm the problem. And I get it, you know, there are more sides to the story, you know what I mean? Like, I fully understand that, but, you know, what I'm not going to do is tolerate being treated like a pest when I ask critical questions, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, if I don't know, if the boss doesn't know, then how are we supposed to know? If our client site has made these policies very clear, and we do everything by the books, and then they're still asking, you know, like contractors, if they're going to be after 5, they have to have an after hours form. If we're asking the contractors if they have an after hours form printed off, and they're like, we don't know, facilities doesn't know, how are we supposed to know? We don't have the authority just to print those. You know, the higher ups have to do that. That's their job to approve that. ComSec has to approve that. You know, like there's a fucking process. And at the and fucking, I'm sorry if I have questions. I'm sorry that I push things that need to be answered for, because, you know, under my watch, under my supervision, you know who has to answer for these things if something goes wrong? Me. And I have to explain that to corporate security. I have to explain that to the clients. I have to explain that to my regional supervisor, my supervisor, the company, HR potentially. You know, like, it's stressful, dude. And so what we're gonna do is pick favorites and, you know, press little bullshit. Like, you know, it's fucking stupid. I'm sorry if I'm negative, but like, I'm going to the shooting range tomorrow, buying a new gun. And I'm going to be spending my afternoon training and enjoying my weekend, because that's my hobby. I'm going to blow off some steam. I might even hit up a strip club. I don't even give a fuck. You know, I'm at that point where I need to calm down. And I don't get angry. It takes a lot to make me, like, angry. The fact that he shouted in front of other people belittled me. The fact that I didn't say anything back. It's not that I'm a little bitch. It's just that I don't want to get fired, because not having a job and being unemployed in today's day and age is not something fun. I don't want to file for unemployment. You know, I've been working for this company for 3 years. Damn near. You know what I mean? I've dedicated 3 years of my life. I was promised a promotion I never got, and I'm still with the company, still being hamstringed. You know, every year I've gotten, my raise has only been 30 cents an hour more, you know, and I'm like one of the few quality guards that works 60-hour weeks, that volunteers for the overtime, that does all the extra stuff. And then on top of that, it's like, you're gonna cuss me out on a Friday and then have me come in on Memorial Day and work the holiday? Sure, I'm getting holiday pay, and that's good for me, because, well, you know, my rent is going to be very cheap this month. It's only going to be $500, because last month I didn't have water for a whole week. And I filed a massive complaint with my apartment complex because I had to repair something, and it's like, I don't see how that's my issue. You know? You know? Our water is included with our rent payment, and so because that was shut off for a week, a lot of people have gotten massive, like, refunds. Some people couldn't live in their apartment, so they had to go to a hotel And I couldn't afford to go book a hotel and stay at a hotel. You know what I mean? For X amount of time. You know, I just didn't have the money to go and do that. Because why? Because I'm having to drive 50 minutes to get to work each day. And speaking of 50 minutes for work each day, you know, like that's a lot of dedication for a company that ultimately doesn't give a single isolated fuck about me or my situation. Then I don't expect sympathy. I don't want people to feel bad for me, but I'm just saying, like, let's be a little bit reasonable here. Let's not punk me out. You know, let's treat me with a little bit of respect here. I don't think I'm asking a whole lot. I think I'm just asking to be taken seriously. You know, and I don't think that that's asking too much. You know, but you know, I guess to some people that's like asking the world and a half. Like, I try not to talk about my job on stream because, like, it's so negative and it's caused me to have a lot of like, depression. But man, oh man, dude, do I just, you know, I'm gonna say this: hell is the impossibility of reason. Like, let that sink in. The impossibility of reason. Really, genuinely let that sink in. Hell is the impossibility of reason. It just can't make sense because it can't. It's impossible for it to make sense. That's the vibes I'm getting. And I know it's true.
Stay still.
I mean, I wish it weren't true. You know, I really wish some people can act like adults and maybe, just maybe, we could, you know, have a simple shift and, you know, not have to worry about it as much. But unfortunately, some people have to act like children, adult children. You know, I get it. My response, you know, like, why do you hate me? It's kind of childish to some degree.
Satisfying.
You know, I can see that, but you know, acting like taking offense to my presence and treating me like a pest and ultimately lying or making stuff up and, you know, like trying to get me in trouble, trying to start shit. Well, meanwhile, starting shit with me and antagonizing me. Like, that makes me feel like I feel disrespected. And I don't adhere to disrespect. I don't get paid enough, quite frankly, to deal with it. Now, if I was getting paid a good chunk of money, I could take a little bit of disrespect. Why? Well, because I'll put up with it, because my paycheck makes me happy at the end of the day. I wouldn't care. Never okay. Disrespect is never okay. But if I was making enough money, I would put up with it. It's not saying that I'd accept it, that it's right, but I'd put up with it. Just to get paid. Ooh, a legendary... Wait a minute. Is that an infinity? Oh, the rapid infinity. Let's go. He dropped the rapid infinity.
That is
what?
Beautiful.
What? What? On stream, look at that. We got a better gub. I think. Oh yeah, look at that. 78,000 damage. Equal mag size. For some odd reason, this version of the gub has only 13% chance to corrode enemies, and this one has a 33% chance, but the corrosion damage is about double. So, ooh, dude, and it's got a nice reflex sight on it. Okay, look at that. 2 legendary pistols back to back. Ooh, yeah. Oh yeah, this gun has a slightly faster fire rate. I do think the Infinity is a little overrated. I think it's kind of interesting to use the Infinity, especially if it has like an element, because the Infinity does come in elemental variants. That's okay to use with the Siren, I guess, for the elemental effects of the solid build, honestly. But incorporating it like as a mainstay in your build, I mean, there are just better pistol options. In terms of like damage output and vice versa, and bonus effects, there are just better options. But Zero, I think, makes the best use out of it. Um, yeah. So with the Leeching Monarch class mod you can get a 40%. Like you can get a pretty fat magazine-sized bonus. And unfortunately, I really wish there was a legendary version of this, which would grant an extra 5 into Foresight and an extra 5 into um, Accelerate. That would be powerful. That would just be such a powerhouse. Just imagine 5 and 5. You'd have a 40% mag size bonus here, an 80% mag bonus size there, and that's for every type of weapon. So I mean, like, that would just be versatile. Would I be down to play the pre-sequel tomorrow? Well, tomorrow's going to be a bit of a loaded day because I'm going to say yes. We're going to be able to play at some point tomorrow, probably early in the morning. But at some point I am going out and I'm going to hunt down. I'm going gun hunting. I'm aiming to get a Taurus 605 revolver, either in the 3-inch or the 2-inch stub nose version. It's a 357 Magnum. They can also shoot 38 Special plus P. It is plus P rated. I am going to get that in a couple boxes of bullets. I am going to replenish a couple, like, going to buy maybe 150 rounds of 9mm and like maybe a box of Hornady Critical Defense and some more 380 rounds. I'm now carrying 2 guns on me, on my persons. I'm carrying my LCP, my Ruger LCP, and I have Hornady Critical Defense loads in it, the FTX rounds, which have like this little rubber insert thing that's supposed to create a wider wound channel. And granted, out of this small, like 2 3/4 inch barrel, I think is how long this barrel really is. You know, out of this barrel, you're not getting a whole lot of velocity. A lot of that round is unfortunately wasted. But these rounds have gone through the not chronograph, but the thing that measures bullet speed. These have been getting like 912, 935 feet per, or 897 on average feet per second out of this small tiny barrel. So I mean, you can only imagine what a dedicated like 380 pistol, like a Beretta Cheetah or like a Glock that's like dedicated for 380. It's harder to get 380 in those like larger, bigger, like full-size pistols, because they just don't generate enough like pressure to cycle properly. You're gonna have some feeding issues, especially with like the wrong mag springs and like, you know, the recoil spring and guide rod. Those can be kind of issues for, especially the rounds themselves. They're just not the most reliable guns to be in full-size cartridges. They're better for the more compact or subcompact size. Because with a shorter slide, especially with like serrations or cuts, especially if they like skeletonize part of the slide where they cut out, that reduces a lot of weight, which the smaller pressure rounds, more common rounds, can cycle more frequently, you know, because it's less reciprocating mass. You know, so like the Smith & Wesson MMP, was it the MMP 380 EZ model, right? Performance Center. It even has a ported barrel. and it's very flat shooting. It's a very dedicated platform. It's got an amazing trigger, amazing slide. The slide's nice and light. It's a light, easy rack. You know, especially people with weaker hands. You know, that's very nice. And it runs so smoothly and has a decent capacity for 380. And that's definitely a more dedicated pistol. I'd love to get my hands on it. I think, how much are those Performance Center pistols? So there's a couple of guns I have on my roster that I am going to try to get. And next year or so, I'll get a motorcycle or something like that. That'll be the next big project. First, I got to get my Camaro up and running and make my basic modifications to it. You know, get the starter build on it, at least get it at phase 1 or 2. With a lot of the supporting mods, I'm not going to do any forced induction. I will be doing a tune. But let's see on here, those Smith & Wesson performance models. So then there's a Smith & Wesson MMP Shield Plus. That is, I want the compact, like the almost full-sized MMP. I want the Shield Plus, which is like the subcompact size. I want the Springfield Armory Hellcat. I want the, you're gonna hear a lot of "I want," right? MMP Performance Center 380 easy. Yeah, so this is it. It's the MMP 380 Shield Easy, like Echo Zulu, and it has like a pressure plate on the back, which is, those are kind of lame. And they can be a little bit finicky, but in all reality, it acts as an additional safety, and I am getting the one with the thumb safety. I know some people aren't a big fan of that. It has high-vis sights that are not, I don't believe they're night sights, or they might be able to work in low light conditions, but not total dark conditions. I'm not entirely certain, but it has a ported barrel, and it has slide cuts, as well as it has nice rearward serrations for cocking. And it has a Picatinny rail with an adjustable trigger. And they're around $540. It's about the price of a Glock. And it comes in a nice compact size with a nice crisp break. It's a nice trigger. Capacity. Yep, high-vis sights. The Lightwave H3. No, they are tritium. They are high-vis tritium, so they do work at night. Never mind. That's cool. It's going to be a little heftier than a Glock in terms of weight, even though it's a little smaller. So this definitely doesn't have any this gun has like almost no recoil. It's very flat shooting. I'm not going to say no recoil. It definitely, it's a small 380, so it can be, they can be very snappy. The LCPs are extremely snappy. The LCP Max, I'd say, was the better carry option since you can get 10 rounds in it. Trying to see where it says how many rounds are in the mag of this gun. So it's got an 8+1 capacity. I'm sure they even make a 2-round extension where you can get like 11 shots out of that. Oh yeah. Ooh, what did we get out of this? Normally, you guys can get bullshit out of these, but I actually got the class mod I currently have out of one of those loot looters.
Stay put. Enough of you. I love my powers.
Alrighty. Where is my infinity? There we go. I got the rapid infinity too. Oh my god, yeah, this thing melts. Yeah, I know I was saying earlier how there were better options, and that is still true. That still holds very true. But dude, just being able to like hold down the trigger infinitely without ever having to reload, that is just DPS for days.
You stop. Bedtime.
Wonder if eventually they'll end up dropping like a corrosive version of the Infinity. That's usually my favorite iteration of this, is the corrosive variant. And corrosive Infinity.
That was messy. So, who's next?
I know by October I got to get a lot of money saved up, because there is the Bronco Arms is releasing their Spaz 12 clone, and that's a hot gun that I really want.
Well, that was something.
Pistol damage, hell yeah. Corrosive damage plus 30%. SMG damage plus 29%. Let's see here. The version I have is pretty much more powerful.
Wow.
I do seem to like this, because I can honestly see... I will take that. How one does pistol damage. We're not concerned about pistol damage. I want to do like a legendary cat mod. Do I have a legendary cat? I do not have a legendary cat mod, class mod, but if I did, it would go with this character, because the killer cat class mod gives me, let's see here, gives me plus 81% SMG damage while subtracting a 31% SMG accuracy. It puts 3 into Mind's Eye, which I don't have any into. Adds more into this and puts some into this. So I mean, it's not too good, honestly, the skills, but the bonus of having 81% damage. And then this one has more fight for my life, more second wind health, and then it also gives me a 29.2% SMG damage, which will basically put me at 100% SMG damage as a bonus. It's 100% plus my badass ranks. That's quite hefty. And the extra fight for your lifetime is going to make up for a lot of the lost stats. The legendary cat class mod is the one you're going to want to go with. It is the most damage optimized for what you're doing, and I'll just give you guys a brief demonstration of how powerful this shit really is.
I love my powers.
It just melts them.
Give up.
As you guys can see, it's not even funny. And we are using an under-leveled SMG. It's not too under-leveled, and it's a very powerful SMG.
Enough.
No more loot midgets. I'm gonna go tubby farming. We have tubby farming in Firestone.
Stay focused.
Or the Badlands, the arid Badlands.
Well, that's that.
I really wish, and I might be an old head for saying this, but I honestly wish weapon proficiencies existed in Borderlands too. Like, you know how powerful it would be to have like a 50, like a pure, you know, a bonus. Imagine if they were able to make imagine if they were able to make the weapon proficiencies do more. You know what I mean? Like go up to higher levels, and then it's like after level 50, you can do another level 50, but it will boost different stats, like elemental effect chances, and you know, like lesser ideal stats, but you can boost them anyway. I think that'd be quite interesting. Like weapon swap speed from particular weapons.
Nice.
Because there are some characters that get 0 weapon swap speed bonuses. Then bullet speeds. And I guess accuracy would stay. You know, like you could really make accuracy crazy. That would be pretty awesome. You know?
This will hurt. So it goes.
if they force me to respec my build to revolve around the cat class mod, which by the way we're gonna be checking it out. I think I have a Salvador class mod on here. Yep. No P10. I don't have any cat class mod. I don't think I have any Maya class mods for my other characters, so she's level 66 as well. We're getting her up to maximum level pretty soon. But if I were to have to respec, we've leveled up quite a few times since last time I respec'd. But if we were to have to do this again, I would say it would be pretty clear to go with this, because that's a 50% critical hit and a 60% melee, which we don't really care about the melee aspect of it. The 50% chance that my attackers can hurt themselves, and we stop there. We go into here, we flip on this, we go with this instead. And then we go with chain reaction, Reaper, come in over here, go accelerate, kinetic reflection, inertia. For our last 11, I say we go down here, and then flip over to cloud kill. And I think that's probably the most solid, most balanced build ever. I'm gonna tell you guys why. Kinetic reflection, when it activates, that 50% damage reduction is a massive bonus. If an enemy is doing 23,000 damage, I'm only taking, well, less than 15,000, and that's in addition to other resistances and effects, in play as well. Now, the big thing over here was obviously, lifesteal, and sustenance. And the Blight Phoenix. If I were to apply Blight Phoenix to this, like, they would be super powerful when I start getting my kill skills in play. Now, the second thing was this: deal a 50% gun damage as incendiary damage. So that's an extra 50% damage done as incendiary. So if I were to go down with the fight for my life, I also have longer fight for my lifetime and better second wind health. So I mean, yeah, that's alright, I suppose one could argue. Oh, forgot it doesn't give me the choice when I just hit start. I was gonna say I could go farm like Seraph crystals and try to get some cool Seraphim weapons as well, but we're just gonna stick it out. I'm gonna go and sell this sniper rifle.
Yes, most of my merchandise was ripped from the hands of dead adventurers. Come back anytime.
I'm starving! I want to eat your babies! Son, this might sting a bit.
Get your health and shields right here. Be careful out there. If you got the money, I'll save your gall-darn life. Catch you later. Almost dead? I can fix that. Never
best with words, but I just want you to know I'm rooting for you out there.
Jack kicked me out of my home back in Firestone. It's here. Thought you could use this.
Jack's face in this. Looking for work? I got some. Esa posta!
Slag. Gotcha! That's what you get. You should all be running. Whoa. Quiet! Pretty cool. Hold it!
The killer cat class mod. I like when they boost accelerate. I think accelerate is a really good skill. Definitely wish accelerate was a little bit more powerful. I don't see any tubbies around here. I found a couple tubbies in this area on a couple of my past runs through here. Yeah, dude, this class mod makes SMGs powerful. Yeah, dudes, this shit is quite deadly. Guess we can farm Saturn real quick. Saturn's pretty easy to kill. Fucking booty cheeks. Ooh. actually not too bad of an assault rifle. It does solid damage and has a fat ass capacity. Saturn's gonna spawn up there. What does more damage, that gub I picked up or the definitely that gub. Look at that. 78,000 damage is crazy. So with my badass ranks, 370% gun damage. Well, that's wild. I might honestly switch to it.
Now where was I?
Saturn dropped poopy loot. No, it's fucking booty cheeks. Well, booty cheeks are awesome, so I guess they're just straight up shit, straight up skag shit. Be the only way I would be able to describe that loot pool. A straight up skag shit. I don't know. Fuck ass.
That is beautiful.
Guess we're gonna go raid that tower there. We're almost at level 67. So for those wondering what my killer cat build is, it's quite lame, if I'm being honest with you guys, but I'll show you anyway. So we have the Heart of the Ancients class mod, which gives us an extra fight for our life as well as better second wind health. But it also gives me a 29.2% SMG gun damage, which stacks with the 81% gun damage. I'm effectively getting a bonus of 100% on SMGs. So on stuff like this, that's quite powerful. Now mind you, this Hellfire is quite underleveled. It is level 59. We are level 66. An equal level version of this would basically be like 32,000 damage, which, doing how much damage we're currently doing, that would be doing crazy work. I mean, that would essentially almost be doing like 100,000 damage. If you consider my badass ranks takes my SMG damage to 371 gun damage, then yeah, basically I'd be doing well over 100k damage. And these loader bards really don't stand a chance against this gub. This guy does so much damage. Yeah, we bum rushed that chest.
Stay put! And stay down.
Well, there was no tubbies. I guess we're gonna go farm loot midgets again. I ought to go do the, shit, I kinda can't do the side quest. What sucks is the Hellfire is my favorite SMG in the game, honestly. I can't, between this and the Florentine, I think Florentine, whatever the fuck the dual elemental SMG, the slag and, electric SMG, that and this are my favorites. I prefer this, honestly, because it's not an E-Tech SMG. E-Tech plasma casters, they, well, they consume like 4 ammo per shot, so, you know, it can be quite crazy. I'll show you guys, my preferred class mod, honestly, is the, Leeching, Matriarch. I really like the extended capacity. Now, what pissed me off is they don't have a legendary matriarch. That really desperately should have been a class mod. And I'm going to say this, and here's why. Imagine if they put 5 points into Foresight, giving you a 50% faster reload speed and a 40% higher mag size, plus giving you an 80% mag size. And imagine if the legendary iteration gave you extra bonus stats instead of it just being mag size and maximum health. Imagine if they add health regeneration and elemental resistance or shield capacity or recharge delay as an extra bonus. Again, not like super crazy bonuses, but making it more powerful and versatile. Definitely at OP10, like a legendary matriarch would be legendary. Especially putting points into like life tap. Like, dude, let me show you how powerful this class mod is.
There's pros and cons to each.
So, with 10 points into life tap, a single kill will give me 12% of my health. That's 12%. Plus, I'm constantly regenerating 3.2% maximum health. Plus when I have an enemy face locked, if I were to max this shit out, we'd be looking at 9 health per second. Along with, I don't think they add anything to Sweet Release, but it would be awesome if they had a legendary version added plus 10 to Sweet Release, because, well, plus 10 would be crazy. Each orb generates 15%, and it generates up to 5 orbs when it's maximum ranked, which means that an extra 5 would be 10 orbs of 15%. I mean, that's more than 100% of maximum health, and that would apply to teammates. That's crazy. Consider that, yeah, I mean, that's just powerful. But we're not running that class mod. I decided to change things up and get the legendary cat class, or the killer cat class mod. They do have a legendary cat class mod. I might have, let me check. I mean, I might actually have a legendary cat on one of my characters. I don't know what level it might be. I'm hoping I have it like in the upper 60s, because that'd be fucking badass. If I get like a level 69 cat class mod. It'd be really cool if it did a 280 SMG damage. That'd be fucking powerful. That would never happen, but could you imagine? I know that the legendary iteration get like 131 SMG gun damage bonus just from the class mod. And you pair it with like a Bone of the Ancients to get additional SMG damage, then yeah, I mean this is quite powerful. I almost got 0 to OP10. I'm at OP7. I got axed into OP10. We'll get Salvador and Maya to OP10 and Krieg to OP10. I don't know how long it's going to take for me to get Gage to OP10, but when I do, I mean, hours of gameplay in this game. You can dump thousands of hours into this game. And still not be satisfied, like still not be bored. I'm gonna test to see if we have anything for Maya. I think I have like a Salvador class mod in here. No, but I do have. I have these class mods: Legendary Soldier and Legendary Anarchist. I do have glitched North Fleets, the derp. That's just absolutely like retarded. But I do like the Hawkeye. The Hawkeye is honestly probably one of my favorite snipers in the game, if I'm being brutally honest. We have
So, what? Yeah, somebody's got to deal with all this involved.
when they did the Commander Lilith DLC,
My time's valuable.
they should have upgraded the amount of maximum ammo by at least 4. That would be tanky as fuck. Just imagine being able to carry like 1,500 pistol ammo. Like that's a lot of pistol ammo.
You know where to find me.
Uh, 31 Seraph crystals. I want to show you guys something. I want to see something real quick. I want to see how much a Hawkeye would cost at OP7. It'll throw us in the cutscene, I'm sure. No, it won't, because we already did it. Holy fuck. This DLC is extremely underrated. Sir Hammerlock's Big Game Hunter.
You've got crystals, I hope.
So, this essentially gives you bonus damage and health regeneration after getting a second wind. Which honestly would be pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie, this lead storm is looking mighty thick.
Goodbye.
Let's just pull out a Hornet, just for reference. That's a lot of corrosive damage per second. This would absolutely melt, and I mean melt.
I am watching you.
Guns. I got
Loader
them.
bots.
You need them.
Let's reload this and see if we can't get the Hawkeye to spawn in. I'm gonna farm for it, honestly. It's one of my favorite snipers in the entire game. But it's tied between. It's honestly my top 3 favorite snipers are all Jacob snipers. I know there's gonna be some people that are gonna say, but there are better snipers than Jacob snipers. But it's literally the Hot Mama, which is pretty wild. But it's this effervescent rarity. It's a It's an elemental Jacob sniper rifle that talks to you, but I don't like it because it talks to me. I genuinely like it because it has a high damage and a high burn damage rate with a solid ignite chance for a non a non-Malawan sniper rifle. I like it because it's interesting, and honestly, you know, you can play Zero a couple different ways. Right now, I'm running a Survivor Zero, which has me running a Neogenator. Um, do I have a? No, I don't have a 94 Sham. I used to have a 94 Sham, but yeah, I run the Neogenator. And the reason I run the Neogenator is because look at that maximum health bonus. I mean, that bonus maximum health. A lot of people dog shit on the Neogenator. This is like my top 3 favorite shields is the B shield, the antagonist, and probably the Neogenator. In second place, though, I would say in this DLC, by the way, the Rough Rider shield. Not having shields, not having any shield capacity can be quite powerful, especially if you have 5 into this and you get like a 30% gun damage with a 50% like fire rate speed. Is broken. But the main reason I'm running this build, I call this Survivor Zero, and the reason why this build is so like highly effective is this green rarity class mod. If you were to find like a blue or purple version of this same class mod, you'd have a much higher maximum health bonus. And on top of that, a better Neogenator would have much stronger elemental resistance. Elemental resistance is kind of important because, especially for Zero, because he's kind of a glass shield. Look how much health I have.
Dead. I'll keep you that way. Set out.
Like that's a lot of health, guys. I don't know if you guys can see that, the numbers down there. But running the shield, running the class mod, which gives me a fat chunk of maximum health. And you gotta think, if your health regeneration is percentage based, the higher the number of the baseline, the higher the number in the percentage. Because remember, 1% of 100 is only 10. 1% of 1,000 is 100. Right? So the bigger the number, the bigger the percentage. When we're talking fat ass numbers, I mean we're talking about damn near invincibility status. I mean, it's crazy. Although we do die still pretty quickly though. The infection. Funny fact: the itchy tasty flavored text is a Resident Evil reference. I like this pistol with Maya. The infection is probably one of my favorite Malawan pistols, just because you have a 60, you have a guaranteed percent to, like if you were to really max out like your, ability, because Maya's flicker ability is additive, not multiplicative, which makes it actually much more effective because, well, adding an extra 20% basically guarantees that you are basically going to infect your enemies on every shot. Consumes 2 ammo per shot and deals a bonus elemental damage effect, which its elemental damage is quite powerful. This is honestly great against loader bots, and I typically get an OP10 version of this, and I typically run B shield, and you can make this. I mean, the damage is pretty dog shit, but I mean, if you look at like the elemental effect damage, it can get kind of crazy.
Bring me your crystal.
Also, guys, the damage. The damage is not that great. It is like a 200.
You must.
But at OP10, it's not that bad. And with a B shield, you're kind of making it. It seems more like you're forcing it to work, but it still works nonetheless. Let's see if we can't get it to spawn in. I mean, we gotta go ahead and cheese the hell out of a couple Seraph bosses. But, yeah, and then there was, the Interfacer? I think it was like the Seraph version of the conference call is also in this DLC, I believe. Seraph weapons aren't bad. They're actually very powerful. Okay, alright, fuck off. You need a foot up your ass. Okay, we're gonna say fuck this, and we're gonna go ahead and go to Doll Abandoned. And we're gonna get some action. Go farm Cassius or whatever his name is. I'm so excited for, well, I guess it's today, because today's Saturday. I already have money for rent, and I have a lot of extra money, so I am going to buy my first revolver, my first wheel gun tomorrow. Yeah, let's drop that.
How hilarious. You just set off my trap card. Your death approaches.
Once you land criticals, the Skull Masher is kind of hard to break. Honestly, the Skull Masher, the Hawkeye, and the Hot Mama, those are my three favorite sniper rifles to use this hero. They're just high damage, high critical hit, and honestly, with the right sniper builds, you can just rip enemies with criticals. And I also, Two Fang Zero is probably the most powerful Zero I can run. And it's the same build regardless. So to run Two Fang Zero, or I call it sometimes Damage Zero, this is what you're going to run. B Shield for that amp damage, because the Neogenator is not going to make it do more damage. Getting us at 2.8 mil damage. Yeah, 2.87 million damage. I mean, that's a lot of fucking damage. I mean, that's a lot of damage. And to top that, you're also going to be critical hit or critical damage is increased to 45. I do wish that this was also gun damage increased by 40 damage. That would be pretty freaking sexy. But it's not. But fire rate's increased. However, though, you do get velocity plus 3, which, you know, pretty much gives you an extra 160% bullet speed, 16% gun damage weak, and a 24% critical hit damage bonus with that 45%. So, I mean, 45% plus 24% is, I mean, that's pretty up there. And I mean, you got this kill confirmed when aiming down sights grants you critical hits raised up to 40. So 40 plus 45 is 85 plus this 24%. So that's basically like 120 damage, basically, damn near. I think I don't fucking know. One shot, one killed. One shot, one kill is pretty powerful. The first shot of a fully loaded magazine does increase damage. Certainly is powerful with the. I wish, dude, imagine if we can get plus 5 into that as well. Would be pretty freaking awesome. But with the Infinity, the Infinity only has one bullet, it always has a 60. You essentially boosted its damage by about 60% permanently, which is a pretty fat bonus. And then on top of that, having that 160 bullet speed, you're just making the Infinity shred. And with amp damage applied, I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy work. And the reason it's crazy work, and I think it can even, Two Fang I think can even break the Infinity, because sometimes you shoot twice. Nope. I don't think Doll Abandoned is where we're supposed to go. It was Mount something. But here's what the chaotic evil rogue can do. Turns sniper rifles into assault rifles. And if you guys were wondering, the Unforgiven, this setup actually does fix the Unforgiven. The Unforgiven is one of the most underrated pistols for Zero. And specifically, people that have reviewed it or done videos on it. Now, God rest in peace, Yodi Slayer. I felt like his review did not account for a lot of, and granted, it was made a long time ago, and I'm not like holding a grudge against Yodi Slayer. No, he's dead. But like I said, God rest in peace. God bless. But I feel like his review of the, I think he undersold the potential of the pistol. Because whilst mine is extremely underleveled, I do want to emphasize how powerful the Unforgiven could be. Because everyone bitches about the fire rate being slow. But I don't see what they're talking about. And the reload speed is crazy. And mind you, this is an under-leveled version. There are versions that are slightly better. And again, slightly better. I mean, if you find one with a 3.7 fire rate, dude, you're set. Because here's the deal. The Chaotic Evil Rogue grants you a 33% fire rate increase. The extra shot chance with Two-Fang and the Chaotic Evil Rogue adding an additional 5 into Two-Fang pretty much gives you a 91% chance to shoot twice, which is pretty much a guarantee. Not even 9% of the time you're going to be shooting, you might miss the occasional shot to shoot twice. However, with this effect, there is a chance that it doesn't shoot as fast as you pull the trigger, but it still is a Jacobs pistol. And with the right trigger sensitivity settings, you can just... And on top of that, this gun also receives a 500 critical hit damage bonus, which with Zero skills and pistol setups, you can run some pretty nasty shit with a B shield and make this thing shred. That being said, the Unforgiven is not a bad pistol, as you guys can clearly see. But you have to run the proper build for it. It is definitely a gun. And granted, it doesn't help that I have all these badass ranks, right? Like the gun damage, the 179.4 fire rate. I mean, that pretty much already fixes the gun across all characters. When I get to 206 fire rate, the Unforgiven in the hands of any character with fire rate boosts is going to feel a lot less broken. But with Zero particularly, it works like any other Jacobs pistol with a good fire rate, despite the fact that it only has a 2 fire rate. 2.2. If you find a version that has like a 3.6 or something like that, then that's even better. And the fact that those might exist, they might not, I don't know. If you mod one into the game that has that. Again, though, farming for this pistol, I get it. There are better, especially like better pearlescent weapons, and most of the pearlescents in Borderlands 2 are kind of underwhelming anyway. Wildlife Exploitation Preserve. We're gonna run in there and try to find. We're gonna try to farm at OP7 and Unforgiven. So check this out. Mind you, these guys are OP7 and this is a level 80 pistol. It's not even OP1.
Eyes deceive you, an illusion fools you all. I move for the kill.
The Slaga becomes, with Two Fang, the Slaga just melts.
I disappear. Goodbye.
And with, like, assault rifles, like, say, the Bearcat. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit cranked, but it's, and rocket launchers with Two Fang. Dude, Two Fang with rocket launchers is retarded. Like I said, Zero is a little squishy. And if you don't want to have a squishy Zero, if you want to have a Survivor Zero, Neogenator is a must. And again, that's why I ultimately run that. And we're going to switch builds to that, actually. The Neogenator. Swap over this to that. And then... So yeah, the health difference doesn't change the per second. But this also adds a 40% health bonus. So that plus that, that's pretty powerful. Again, if we find a version that gives us a 58% bonus to maximum health, we're going to take that. But that basically gives us a lot of maximum health, basically. And we're gonna switch this back to the Sligo.
Stealth.
You are creating a safer, kinder Pandora. Rude Gordon.
Yeah, look how fast I'm moving. Yeah, on top of that, look how much health I have still. Even after those combat encounters.
I vanish. My honor.
We're gonna have to replace that pistol. Let's go with like the Maggie, maybe. Oh yeah. I mean, it's not that the Unforgiven's a shit pistol, but it's not the right level. And we're regenerating our health rather steadily. And I seriously hope we find a OP7 version of this. Well, I mean this is OP7, but I hope we find like a purple version of the Survivor class mod. That would be more than ideal. Because, honestly, yeah, that's a resurgence, but imagine we put 5 into follow through. Imagine getting that 80% movement speed, 80% melee, and 60% gun damage. That's crazy work. I guess for a finals kill skill would be this. Do you smoke the 420, bro? No, I'm not into that. I do smoke, but I don't smoke pot. I smoke cigars and cigarettes, which aren't really better for you, but some might argue they're much worse. But I just don't have an appeal for weed. It's not that I'm anti-smoking. It's just that it's just not my preference. No, it's just because I don't. I just don't like the way weed smells. I'm not really into the whole weed thing. And besides, I have to have clean urine because I'm a security guard. And on top of that, you know, I own several firearms. And I mean, in most states it's decriminalized, it's legal. But, you know, it's not my thing. Like I said, I'm not against other people doing it, it's not my thing. You're finding excuses? Well, I just don't like the way it smells, and quite frankly, it stinks. In my opinion. But that's just me, and it gets on your clothing, it stays on it forever. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not against other people doing it, it's just not my thing. Well, I mean, it's a preference. Like I said, I prefer Marlboro Red 100s. Or Ted's Bourbon cigars. Or Deadwood cigars. I love cigars. That's, out of any smoking tobacco product, cigars are my thing. I want to say I'm scared of the way that it shifts my mind. I mean, I don't even believe that getting high even does anything crazy like that. Like, you'd have to be doing like LSD or something crazy to be like, you'd have to be doing shrooms to shift your mind in the way that you would be like, where like your perception of reality changes. And obviously, you know, I don't do shrooms or anything like that either. Nah, I wouldn't know, man. I'm not that interested in that type of shit anyway. Oh no, I guess the other thing too, I guess it's kind of weird. I'm not bragging or anything like that, but I can't get addicted to anything, like even alcohol. Like I've had the same bottle of like, I've had the same like 6-pack of like Budweiser and the same bottle of tequila for like over 2 years now. I just never really see you talk about stuff you don't even know about. Yeah, I don't know, man. You're right, I don't have any experience smoking weed. It's like I said, it's just not my thing. Well, when it comes to like addictions, I guess gambling would be my addiction. It's a preference. I don't have to have a reason. It's a preference. It's like I prefer brunettes over blondes. You know, is there an actual reason? Are brunettes more attractive than blondes? I mean, there are some very attractive blondes. You know what I mean? So it's, you know, I don't have to have a reason. It's just a preference. I prefer. Limited belief is wild. I don't see how I'm limiting myself from not wasting money on a subpar product. I don't honestly see how weed is better than like cigarettes. I just don't. I don't get it, man. I don't get how THC affects the brain in any positive way to the way nicotine would, you know? Like a nicotine buzz, like the way I would describe a nicotine buzz is very different than how I would describe like a THC buzz. And I don't even smoke weed and I can tell you that. It's a very different thing. Why are you comparing? Because it's the closest thing I could compare smoking weed to. And granted, a pack of cigarettes has lasted me 6 months. A pack of Marlboro Red 100s. And granted, you know, smoking can be a very addictive hobby, and it can also be a very expensive one too. If you're buying like premium cigarettes. Now, if you're buying like What was that shit called? Not Camels, but that's another example of a more portable tobacco brand. But Montegas. Shit. Come on. I've tried the vaping thing though. I have been open about that. I've tried vaping. I don't like the way I don't like it at all. The vapor doesn't do shit. Tastes weird. It feels like I'm smoking a Fruit Loops. like I don't know how to describe it. Like, and I don't like menthol cigarettes either. It feels like I'm smoking mouthwash. You're one of them people who talks like they know stuff. I guess. I mean, you know. I just, like I said, man, I just have my opinions. I don't have to have reasons for them. Like, how do magnets work? They just do. Big ego is wild. I know. If here, I'll ask you your opinion. What makes weed fun for you? What makes what how does it benefit your life? Since I have to have a reason why I don't like it, why don't you provide a reason why you do? And then you'll realize just how retarded this entire argument really is.
The true world revealed. Weakness is now known to me. Time to go to work. I am ready. I vanish.
And I already gave valid reasons as to why I don't smoke pot. You know, I have a job where you cannot have, like, you have to have clean urine. We do get drug tested every couple months. And besides that, it's a controlled substance, and, you know, I do own firearms.
Time to go to work. No. Fool. Unsurprising. I disappear.
It's our planet now!
Gee.
Not bad.
Well, I guess homie's gone, you know. I guess he couldn't provide a reason why weed is good for him. Like I said, I'm not against weed. I just don't particularly partake in it. I'm gonna go ahead and set the spawn at this checkpoint. This is the best way to farm these legendary loot midgets. Oh, there we go.
If you got the money, I'll save your gall darn life.
I really just need to get 0 to like OP 10. But we're gonna pause that process there. I'm gonna give it one last run to try to get a tubby to spawn here, which I don't think one will, and that's perfectly totally fine. Ouch. Oh, son of a bitch. There we go. And again, if not, then I'll go back to farming the legendary loot midgets. Holy shit, they dropped all the weapon parts. Definitely don't want to stay up too late, because like I said, I'm going to be getting my first, I'm going to go down to the gun store before my buddy gets off work, and I'm going to get my first wheel gun. I'm kind of excited. It might. I don't know what I'm gonna buy. I know what model I'm gonna buy, but I don't know like what options I'm gonna get or what the store has available. You know, I know Taurus is definitely not on the top of everybody's favorite gun brands, but I'm telling you guys, Taurus makes decent revolvers. You know, and they're quite affordable in my budget right now. It's not too bad. And it leaves me room to buy extra ammo and stuff, because I will be buying, I haven't decided what loads I'm going to be running, probably HSTs, maybe even JHPs. Don't know what brands yet, probably Hornady or Sig Sauer Elite Defense. But I'll let you guys know. I will probably drop a updated gun collection video, because I did end up getting a G36 into the collection. But as some of you guys that have been on the channel for a while may or may not know this, but even though my gun collection is quite extensive, I still do not yet have a revolver, and as a gun guy, that's just kind of like, you know, I've just been buying a lot of like semi-automatics, you know, like I got everything from Glocks to Beretta, Smith & Wesson. Don't have a Rigger Security 9 yet, but I will be getting one of those as well, so quite affordable. They're not too bad in terms of quality either. It's the Angelic Matriarch. Why do I keep trying to say Monarch? I feel like kicking my own ass sometimes. And he did not drop the sniper rifle. What was it? The Invader? It's like it's a Hyperion sniper that has like the doll effect, where when you aim down your sight, you get burst fire. Let's see here. I don't know. The big ego comment, guys. That's just wild. I talk like I know everything. I try to sound like I know what I'm talking about. I don't know. Some petty ass bullshit. It's I don't know, I guess one of the big laws or rules of debate, an opinion is not a fact, it is an opinion. There's no scientific evidence that can back it. So if I like the Cincinnati Bengals more than the Dallas Cowboys because, you know, the reason is because, you know, I'm from Ohio. So, you know, I mean, there's no scientific reason why I prefer that, you know, because statistically speaking, you know, the Cincinnati Bengals haven't really been in the Super Bowl very much. I mean, in recent history, I think it was in 2023, 2022, they went and they went up against the LA Rams in the Super Bowl, which that pissed me off. Oh, man.
Focus on the siren.
So those attempts were futile to get a legendary weapon. And by the way, we're almost level 67. We are really getting up there in level. Man, it's always dreading getting your characters to like the high levels. Once you get there, you're in there. You know, just takes a little while to level up from there.
Calm down.
Oh man, I thought that was a tubby. I was gonna say, bro. Hell yeah. I guess we could. No, we're not gonna switch it over. We're just gonna keep it as is. I was gonna try to switch over to get the endowment relic that allows you to get more XP from combat experience. but I'm just like, no thanks. I think I'll just stick to having high SMG damage. These fossil skags sometimes have a tendency to look like tubbies, in my opinion. Not gonna lie, this gub was definitely a W pool. I mean, like, it's just so nice. I mean, this is another good version, and it does have the 50% melee bonus, which is okay, I guess. Mind's Eye really isn't that great, but since, you know, that 50% critical hit, that's quite powerful. The 60% or the 60% melee plus the 50% melee, it's 110% melee bonus. So I guess that's powerful in some aspects. I'm sure. But yeah, Mind's Eye is definitely a skill I tend to skip out on when it comes to how I build my sirens in Borderlands 2. But yeah, I mean, to each his own. Still got one more spawn area over here for skags. Again, these little fuckers aren't spawning in my they're not dropping, or they're not spawning in the tubbies. I see the rabbit skag. I wish this, I wish there was like a +5 in kinetic reflection, because that 100% damage reduction is crazy. It doesn't quite work how you think it would. It doesn't negate all damage, but it negates a lot of damage. Like, and I'm talking a lot. We'll try the Boneyard real quick. I'll kill what's-his-face and hope he drops a stronger B shield. That's about all we can hope for.
Please insert any donated organs into the receptacle below. Now, my ride may not be safe.
Is that iridium? No, there's no iridium. I wonder what I've seen. I'm seeing things.
Calm down.
First of all, to say
Right over here, we have another large spawn point. This area does kind of spawn in a lot of tubby skags. Gun damage. And I mean, Blight Phoenix is pretty solid, I guess. Now we got a lot of the kill skills activated all at once. $67 is quite a way to go, though, honestly. Like, it's a pretty solid level. If it were old Borderlands, we'd be really close to max level at 72, but I'm glad they added the extra 8 levels. Helps balance things out. Level 80 is quite satisfying. I'm gonna go over my build again real quick to explain for those who haven't. Yeah, I remember you. You were on my Minecraft stream. I'm gonna go over my build real quick. So, obviously this is an SMG, but that being said, I'm running the Killer Cat class mod, which adds 81 SMG damage, and then I'm running the Heart of the Ancients Relic, which adds an extra 29.2 SMG damage. It adds no accuracy to make up some of my lost accuracy. I don't know why the Killer Cat reduces accuracy. I wish it only reduced 10 accuracy instead of 31. I mean, that's kind of irritating. My accuracy's unaffected because it's just like how much bonus weapon accuracy I end up getting. Here's a Minecraft skin. And then here's the Minecraft head, Creeper Slayer. It's a nice little nod to Minecraft. There's a whole Minecraft Easter egg in this game. Yee. Thanks. I really did not want this in the game. Now the other thing too is it's really cool if I go down. It adds an extra 50% gun damage as incendiary damage. In other words, it adds incendiary damage to all shots fired in Fight for Your Life, and additional incendiary damage is based on the gun damage of your weapon you're firing. So 50% of your gun's damage as incendiary damage on a gun that already does incendiary damage. So it only does 14,000 damage, so half that would be 7,000 damage would be added in addition to the total damage output. It adds in addition, to targets. Now against like loader bots or armored enemies, you need corrosive damage, so that really doesn't help you, but that damage helps like tick down the health bar a little bit. It's quite useful in a couple ways. We're gonna go ahead and put some stuff in storage, so I have more space to work with for farming equipment.
Hey, Borderlands, I got a story. This one time, I punched the guy.
Was that the entire story?
Yep.
And I know that some people might think that this current setup is unviable, and I can totally see that. I mean, just in the sense of like, it's very SMG predominant, but I kind of like it. It just makes my SMGs do a lot of damage. And really, in a lot of ways, I'm actually fully maxed out. I'm gonna read the comment. Ooh, it's getting late. I gotta get going to bed pretty soon. So I can wake up so I need to get to the gun store first so I can buy some ammo and stuff before I go to the range. My buddy doesn't get off till like 4. So I have all day to, get my stuff, get ready, and go door dashing, make extra money, and I don't know, maybe spend some of that extra money on even more ammo and guns. Of course, that's alrighty. Yeah, I like to farm legendaries and stuff on this game. Yeah, Borderlands 2. I mean, the first 2 Borderlands games are perfect. The pre-sequel was near perfect. honestly the last great Borderlands game we ever had, and then Borderlands 3 was okay, it was pretty mid, honestly. But Borderlands 4, I haven't even touched it. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, haven't even touched it. The new Tales of the Borderlands, haven't even breathed on it. You know what I mean? I did play the original Tales of the Borderlands, which was okay. I just prefer this. This gameplay is perfect. I'm sorry, bro, but Borderlands was like golden during this time. I'm just not a big fan of the newer Borderlands games. To me, the series just as a whole, for me, I hate to be that guy, but it's like the Black Ops Zombies effect, you know? It's, for me, World at War and Black Ops 1 were the best. Black Ops 2, to me, was not the best zombies experience, but it was the last great zombies experience we got. And then, for me, BL3, Black Ops 3, sorry, BO3, was like Borderlands 3, in the sense of, like, it truly isn't great, it's not bad, it's somewhere kind of in between. I had, like, very mixed feelings about it. I just remember there was a lot of shitty multiplayer maps that were released with the game at launch, and I just did not like a lot of the weapons that were in the game. I did not like the campaign. I did not like how it did not continue the story of Black Ops at that point in time. I hate how it went this stupid direction that I don't know. It felt like it was trying to be the storyline kind of felt like it was trying to be like a futuristic Call of Duty Ghost, you know, where it had like kind of a twist at the end. I don't know, man. And it's like Black Ops games have always had that twist, but like in this case, it didn't feel quite as earned as Black Ops 1. Like Black Ops 1 is a perfect game, hands down, best Black Ops in the franchise. World at War is not technically a Black Ops game, but I still always include it in the lists because, well, it was Treyarch's, PS3, Xbox 360 era title, and it was their attempt at like a more modern Call of Duty. It was the last major World War II Call of Duty we got at that point in time. But World at War started the zombies trend, and you know, like the characters of Reznov and Dimitri, that whole like storyline, right? That started there, and it continued into Black Ops. It's canon, right? It's part of the story. Now, Call of Duty Cold War, Black Ops Cold War, I don't know. It was the closest thing we got in modern Call of Duty history, the closest thing we can get to Black Ops 1. Now I played Black Ops 6, alright, I own Black Ops 6, I have a physical copy of Black Ops 6, I got it when it came out. I didn't have crazy expectations, but I thought it would be closer to Cold War, just only it would be taking place in the 1990s. And I thought that was kind of a cool approach. But I did not like the campaign, and I'm going to be brutally honest with you, it's kind of a trend I've been feeling about recent Call of Duty games, but I've not been liking the campaigns. Like, the last great COD campaign I really loved, that I really liked playing, was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 2019. Modern Warfare 2, I'm referring to the 2022 Modern Warfare. And obviously that original 2009 Modern Warfare was prime. That was peak. Balls to the walls, cocaine trip, bro. You know, that game was something else. Truly was spectacular. But in terms of campaigns, Modern Warfare 2019 had a really solid levels. Modern Warfare 2 2022, I was hyped for it. It was a little underwhelming. I feel like Hassan as an enemy was extremely underdeveloped. There's just not a lot of reasons why we're after these people. It just seems like when they were drop feeding content via Warzone as like the story or whatever, I think that was going on for a little while there. I was not a fan of that, continuing the story or whatever in a weird way via like Spec Ops or whatever it was. I can't even remember, but I remember it was something like that. You know, I just didn't like that approach to telling the story. Now that being said, that's just a preference. You know, I prefer like playing the story and watching the cutscenes and you know, that kind of thing. But again, you know, Modern Warfare 2, it had some good levels in it. I'm not gonna lie. You know. When it first drops, like the multiplayer maps are kind of hyped. They're alright, you know. But I liked that game. And it really does feel like, I didn't even touch Black Ops 7. One I seen, like, they had like these strange ass, like, boss battles in the campaign. That's not Call of Duty, I'm sorry. Boss battles, that's just not Call of Duty. You know, Call of Duty is supposed to be more grounded. And, you know, who am I to say what Call of Duty is supposed to be? I'm a long-term fan, you know. I've been with the franchise since Call of Duty 2 on the PS2. I've been with the franchise since Call of Duty Finest Hour, COD 3. I've been with the franchise since COD 4. I've been with the franchise since Black Ops 1. When zombies was just becoming a thing. My favorite thing ever in Call of Duty, I think I would say, would be, like, from Modern Warfare side of things, would be survival mode. I liked how in 2019 they had the dedicated survival mode. Kind of brought me back to the MW3 days on the PS3, playing survival with my friends, trying to, like, blast on Terminal, or on Resistance, Village, or Dome. You know, I played all the maps, bro. I loved it, bro. COD 4 Remastered. That was fucking based. Then they gave us half of a game. They gave us the COD 2 Campaign Remastered. That's half of a game, bro. It was just the campaign. Campaign's awesome. It's one hell of an experience to go check it out and play it thoroughly, but you know, it's only half the game. You know, there were two other game modes. There was Spec Ops and multiplayer, and that was cut content from the game. And the tricky part was, and that was drop fed during Modern Warfare 2019. I remember it vividly. I remember they when they released, I think it was like what, season 2 of Warzone, I think is when they had Ghost become like a viable operator bundle or whatever. They also released the operator bundle that had COD Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered, and you know, sure enough, man, you know, I was on that shit. I was thinking at some point they were gonna drop feed the multiplayer into that game, and we would really get to play Call of Duty like back in the day. But they never fucking did it. They literally just left it as just the campaign. And honestly, for a lot of players, that's not enough to keep them hooked. For players like me that appreciate and love the campaign level designs and like listening to like the radio chatter, like that's, you know. There's not even Spec Ops that, you know, offers you some kind of extra challenge or extra mode to play. You know, it's only campaign. So for me, I thought that was kind of lame for how much they were charging for it. I mean, $16 would be a fair price, but like I think this was like 30 to 20 bucks I think at the time, just for the campaign of a game that was at that point in time 10 years old. Gotta remember, Modern Warfare 2019, Season 2, that was 2020. Modern Warfare 2 came out in 2009, so it was already 10 years at that point. That's an old-ass game. I'm not talking shit about old games. This while I'm playing a game that came out in 2012. Borderlands 2. You know, it's certainly Borderlands 2 is at least over 10 years old. I think so. Yeah. So 2022 was when this game became officially 10 years old. So it's 2026, so this game is officially like 13 years old. So like, yeah, it's a fairly, I think, I don't know, my math skills are not there. I'm sorry guys, I'm kind of dyslexic. But if I got that math wrong, I'm not even gonna check it. But like, you know, like this is an old game. Mind you, I still play Silent Hill 2 on the PS2. I still play Cold Fear on the PS2. I still play Resident Evil on the PS1. You know, I still play like Devil May Cry on the PS2. I still play like, dude, like fuck, bro. Like I still play Bully on the PS2. Now I do have like the PS4 version, and that's cool because it's more accessible. You know, but I have like original hardware. I have Manhunt. I have Manhunt 2, right? They didn't release Manhunt 2 like they did the remaster of Manhunt, not remaster, but like the re-release of Manhunt 1 as a PS2 classic during the PS4 era. And Manhunt 1 is damn near unplayable on the PS5. You know, for whatever reason, it's prone to issues, it has a lot of bugs. Dude, like that's awesome. You know, like I still play old games. You know, I still go back and I still play Black Ops 1 Zombies. It's one of my favorite hobbies. I still play Left 4 Dead 2. I still play Half-Life. You know, I still play a lot of old games. You know, that's just a really quick comment, tangent, whatever you want to call it, commentary. But nothing pisses me off more in the gaming community of when snarky fuckers make a comment like, why do you have 2,000 hours into this game? Why do you have 1,000 hours into this game? Why do you have so many? I play my games, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I actually sit down and play my games. You know, I don't rush through, beat the game, and do half of a second playthrough and call it quits. You know, I play the fuck out of my games because, like, I buy my games. You know, like, that's money spent. I'm going to make sure that money, it's entertainment, you know, and I'm going to make sure I get the most entertainment out of every dollar spent on a video game. Part of me for being a consumer, you know what I mean? But when I buy something, I don't W comment. Like, when I buy a game, you know what I mean? Like, people are like, you have 2,000 hours in Borderlands? It's like, fuck yeah, I have 2,000 hours in Borderlands. Fuck yeah, I have 2,000 hours in a Minecraft. You know, it's like when I buy games, I want to play them. I want to experience them. Now, you know, I mean, I'm not a kid no more. You know, like, I'm a grown-ass man. I'm a 23-year-old man. So for me, yeah, I don't have the same, like, free time I did when I was a kid to just dump hours into video games, but, you know, like, here I am, dedicating my free time to my games on the weekends. I still have a life, I still have hobbies, I still go to the shooting range, I go to the gym, I work on my cars, you know. 200 hours is more than 80 days. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it seems crazy, right? But it's like, it seems crazy. It really does, but I'm telling you guys, I like putting hours into games, man. I like mastering them. Right? I've never claimed that I'm like the best gamer in the world, but I strive to be the ultimate gamer, right? And you can only accomplish that if you truly dedicate time to your games, learn them, master them, right? Kind of like going to the shooting range, right? Like, I'm about to buy a revolver. I don't have a lot of experience shooting revolvers because I don't have any. But now I'm going to, you know, and I'm going to learn it, master it, and get better, you know? It's a hobby. It's why shooting is such a fun hobby, right? There are so many different weapon systems and platforms, right? There's the AK platform, the AR platform, the HK platforms like the MP5 and the HK33, the HKG36. These are all different platforms. The pump-action shotguns, semi-automatic shotguns, double-barrel shotguns, bolt-action rifles, semi-automatic long guns, 1911s, Glocks, Berettas, Smith & Wessons, the Ruger line of pistols, 22 LR, the 22 match guns, their competition guns, 9mm, and then even though there's all these different platforms, there are different calibers in these platforms, right? Like they have AR pistols that shoot 9mm, they have ARs that are calibrated in 5.56, 300 Blackout, fucking 50 Beowulf, 308, the AR-10, right? That's 308. 50 Beowulf, I already said that. Was it fucking? There are so many different like options here. You know what I'm saying? And like Glock has damn near most calibers, right? The Glock 40 is a 10mm. The Glock 23 is like a Glock 19 that shoots a 40 Smith & Wesson. They have them that shoot 22, 380, 9mm. That's why guns are just such a massive hobby, is because there's just so many options. There's so many different things to learn, so many different, platforms, calibers, sizes, right? Like your full size, long barrel, right? Like the Glock 40 has like almost a 7-inch barrel, basically. It's got this really long barrel, right? It's got the long slide. And that's a very different shooting experience. The sight radius is completely different than, say, something like the Glock 19, which is like your compact size. Glock 17 is full size. Glock 45 is basically a Glock 17 frame with a shorter Glock 19 slide, so you have more. And it's the same exact thing as the Glock 19X. They're basically essentially the same gun. It's kind of strange, but But you only learn these things when you ask questions and you dedicate time to learning these things, and you'll get that knowledge by taking your time and mastering each platform, learning as much as you can along the way, listening to people with more experience, watching videos, and that takes a long time. Shotguns are the same deal. There's 12 gauge, 410, 20 gauge. Explosive damage relic. I'll grab that for action. But yeah, anyway, back to the point, right? When some people watch me play like RE4, like the original, they see me knife an arrow out of the sky, and they're like, "How do you do that? Like, how do you have these skills? How do you speed run and do all this stuff?" It's because I have like 200 hours into the game. I've been playing RE4 since like the PS2, the PS3 iteration, the PS5, PS4. And, I played the remake. I played it on the PS4 and on the PS5. I've put a lot of hours in like games like Far Cry and Bioshock, dude. I don't think I can live stream Bioshock. Oh my god, if I could, you guys would see a master at work, guys. I am telling you guys, I don't care what anybody says, I am a master at Bioshock. I literally know where every item is in the game. I platinum the game. I beat the game on the hardest difficulty without dying, using autosaves or even data changers without respawning, because I didn't need them, because I didn't die. I've done numerous challenges. I've played with everything, dude. I literally mastered the game. I have so many different fucking methods to beat Bioshock. I can literally run the game however I want because I know everything about the game. And, you know, that's dedication, man. You know, beating the game on the hardest difficulty without dying. Beating the game on the easiest difficulty with only using the wrench and plasmids. That was a pain in the dick. But I did it anyway. You know, like, it's truly putting hours into a game. Yeah, if you don't like the game, then fine, you can drop it. But, you know, when it comes to me, I like mastering things. Now, to be fair, not to be a hypocrite, but I haven't necessarily mastered Dark Souls, you know. I haven't mastered every game in the whole universe. That's what I strive to do, that's the goal. To master as many games as I play. It doesn't mean I'm going to master all of them, because that takes a lot of time. You know, 1,000 hours is a lot of time. You know, so when I continuously dump hours into games like Minecraft, Borderlands, Grand Theft Auto, you know, you name it, and I pump hours into it. You know, I'm telling you guys too. I'm hyped, man. I'm genuinely in a very good feel for the modern gaming scene right now. Like, we are going through a like renaissance of culture right now. They're bringing Halo to the fucking PlayStation, guys. Like, I'll finally be able to play Halo on the PlayStation. They're doing the campaign Evolved. I'm going to be. Ooh, I'm gonna pause this game. So, when I move, like when I move next year or later this year or whatever the case is to a 2-bedroom apartment, I am getting a newer Xbox. I'll be getting a brand new Xbox Series X. I will be getting Halo Combat Evolved on both platforms. I will be setting up a Microsoft account. And the other thing too, I will set up a Discord. I will actually set up a Discord that's actually like worthwhile. Have my passwords written down. Really dedicated to it, and I'm going to get my my capture card from my storage unit, and I will be able to record content on. I will be able to live stream on the PS3. I'll be able to bring back the PS3 live streams. I'll be able to even incorporate the Xbox 360 live streams and live stream Left 4 Dead. Like, honestly, guys, like things are looking good in life right now. You know, like, let's face it, guys. 23. I have 24 firearms. I have a Camaro, a Ford Explorer. Like, bro, I'm getting my homies are doing good too. I'm about to be switching jobs pretty soon. I'm about to get a tiny raise, and I'm not going to have to drive nearly as far. I'll be saving more money and spending less of it. Allows me to spend more time and more money on the things that I like doing, like working out, playing video games, training. And it's like, you know what, man? Fuck yeah, dude.
You're moments from death.
Oh, dude, this.
I'm back, bitches. Let's do that again sometime. Stop.
Even though this thing is heavily resistant to fire damage, it is still like eating away at his health bar. Despite the fact that this SMG I'm using is currently severely underleveled. I was kind of hoping they'd drop another Bone of the Ancients. Imagine if they were able to increase your damage and fight for your life by like 20% in addition to all of that other stuff. Like, that would actually be kind of tanky, honestly. But yeah, my SMG is level 59. We're fighting enemies that are level 69. You know what? We could continue farming these guys, and we're going to. I seriously hope they eventually drop like a legendary. I don't think the legendary loot midgets have legendary class mods in their loot pool. I think only Tubbies and Chubbies have legendary class mods in their loot pool. And that's like elite. That's ball knowledge, guys. I have Borderlands ball knowledge. I think on that different level, man. And that applies to both Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2. I almost have this game platinum. I did platinum Borderlands 1. It was an easier platinum. I will come out and state that. But guys, I mean, when it comes down to games, like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, Tony Hawk Underground, Skate 1, Skate 2, like playing that with like my cousins on split screen or just, fucking around like that was the shit, bro. Like nothing can bring that back truly. Even these more modern versions of those games, they're too modern. Like when I say I want to see a retro game come back, I want to see like similar style of graphics, just less pixelated and more, or less shitty, better like rendered. You know what I mean? Like better render distances and stuff like that. I want the style to be very similar or near the same with some slight improvements of texture. I don't know, I want too much. Now, by the way, guys, I will come out and I will say this: a lot of the reasons why I'm able to dump so many hours into these video games, by the way, where I'm able to dump thousands of hours into games and stuff, and still also somehow have free time to do overtime at work and to go to the gym and to do all these other things. I'll be brutally honest. I'm gonna be very brutally honest. It's really because I don't have a girlfriend, man. That's 90% of it. I've mostly been single my whole life. I haven't really had to share time with a significant other. I never had to integrate hobbies as a shared thing, or as a shared experience. So right now, when I'm single, I'm living the best life possible, man. You know, that's not to say that if I get a girlfriend, I never stop playing games or whatever. Like, I'm always gonna be myself. I'm always going to be honest and legit. Out of all the people, out of all the streamers, I am pretty much the genuine article. I am who I say I am, and I'm only me, man. And I'm not going to be something I'm not for anybody. I only keep it real, man. That's how life is. It's authentic. But I'm honest. Being alone, being single. In my early 20s, this kind of sucks. At the same time, though, I'm seeing people my age in their 20s, literally with like 3 kids, and they can't fucking live, bro. In today's economy, it is like, I don't know, man. Like, so in some ways, I'm glad I don't have the complications in life, but at the same time, it's like being alone can suck, man. I'm gonna be brutally honest with you guys. And it definitely, beyond that, there's also like this cultural disconnect right now. I think COVID had a lot to do with it, but I also feel like streaming, influencers, social media has a lot more to do with it than COVID ever had. The reason I'm saying that is because, well, let's just be honest here. Like, people are less socialized now. They don't have to talk to people when they can text people. And now people don't know how to start or even maintain a conversation, it seems. And it seems like, I'm not saying all my buddies, I'm not going to throw my homies under the bus, but I am going to criticize them. But I'm not going to throw them entirely under the bus. It seems like when we go out to eat or go out to do shit, where we're talking, it just seems like everybody has their fucking phones out, bro. It's like they'd rather text you in the same room than talk to you. It's crazy to me. And families are even like that now. It's just like I'm seeing my cousins do it. I'm seeing like the younger kids in our family doing that, and it bothers me tremendously. It fucking irritates me. Like, and I get it, I'm a gamer. I get it. I'm on Instagram, I get it. I get checking out the social media feeds, but doom scrolling is just unhealthy. it's even to the point where I'm seeing the elderly people in my family just doom scrolling. Like they discovered Facebook for the first fucking time, and these old fuckers are just on there all the time. They don't have a job because they're retired, and all they do is sit on their ass all day on Facebook. Like it's fucking crazy, bro.
Stop.
I hate to be that guy or whatever, but I say it how it is, man. I say it how I see it. Oh, did that little fucker... I hate the fucking jet midget. I fucking hate the jet midget with like a burning passion. Oh, this little son of a bitch. He can go through the walls. There might be a chance he might fly, he might phase through the wall when he loops back around. I don't think he is though. Because there's a certain route that their AI sometimes can take. And they get trapped there basically in this side of the map permanently. Like they can't. I think okay, he might be in the Skag enclosure over here. This is a more open area. Yeah. He didn't drop any decent loot. Oh, that would piss me the fuck off if he dropped like a legendary or a pearl in like a non-reachable area. Dude, I would like actually be like hard pressed on that. Like on Buddha. I'd be pressed. I'm not a Buddhist, by the way. That's just it's a meme between me and my friends. But ugh, son of a bitch. My legs hurt.
Gotcha. Hold it right there. Good. Please stop. Critical. Interesting reaction. Stop.
Obliterated.
Slag.
Oh, he's nuked.
Wasn't even close.
We just obliterated them. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Wait a second, though. I feel like that's not an upgrade. Yeah, look, it adds plus second wind health, 130%. I mean, that's cool that it gives you more gun damage. Oh, I picked it up anyway. Why did I pick it up? But it's not even a whole lot, honestly, though. It's only like 0.3. That's not a real upgrade. That's just dog shit. I feel like saying, like, I don't know if you guys seen the ending of The Boys, but, you know, when Homelander dies, you can't do this. Like, that's what I feel like saying. You can't do this. You can't fucking do this. Like, hold on a second, I'll fucking play the clip. You can't do this. Hold on. I can't fucking do this. You can't fucking do this. Oh no, that fucking list was comedy. That's comedy gold right there. I don't know why I find that shit so just absolutely fucking hilarious. But I just feel like saying that. I need to get that as an audio clip. You can't fucking do this. just start playing that as soon as like if Borderlands like spawns like imagine playing like a horror game or a zombie game and it spawns like a bunch of zombies on top of you. You can't fucking do this. Alright, I'm not laughing anymore. Fucking die.
Silence. Ha!
That shut him up.
I know a lot of people right now in the boys community at least are really excited for VOT Rising, but I'm telling you guys, our opinion on we are going to see a completely different Soldier Boy. You know, because remember, Soldier Boy was like the original Homelander, right? You know, like the original head of the Seven. You know, just absolutely You know what I mean? The same exact douchey way. I mean, we see like that little tidbit with Black Noir, where he's just like trying to like, you know, he's upset about like some kind of movie thing, you know, or whatever, and then like he just beats the everlasting shit out of Black Noir for no reason at all, really. It's like, yeah, we're gonna see Jensen Ackles become like a pretty terrible character. You know, we're gonna see a side of Soldier Boy that we're not gonna want to see, and that's his.
You won't enjoy this. I love my powers.
We're gonna see a totally different side to that character, and I feel like some people are thinking it's just gonna be another awesome like adventure or whatever. A lot of crazy shit gonna happen, but we're gonna see a completely different Soldier Boy. That's just kind of like the laws and physics of that whole system, which is interesting. You know, I'm kind of excited to see that myself. But Gen V was just kind of like, for me, it wasn't ideal. Did that midget just giggity? Like Quagmire from Family Guy? Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, I gotta show you guys this. If you guys have never played Borderlands, E-Tech sniper rifles are fucking based. I gotta show you guys this real quick. Let's see. Spawn some shit in here. Yeah.
Slag.
You can't fucking do that. I can't fucking do it, but it's fucking hilarious to me. Probably the most funniest thing I've ever heard. I just fucking punched it.
Slag. Freeze.
About to level up yet again. I feel like this current setup. Oh!
That is lovely.
And he dropped a pearl. Let's fucking go. And a decent pearl at that. He dropped a fucking butcher. Let's go. Let's fucking go. This is level 66 version. Mine's a level 61. This does significantly more damage. We're going to compare these stats really quickly. So, obviously, the level 61 only does 19,000 damage, which doesn't seem like actually a whole lot. I feel like the damage is scaling weird. I don't know, I just remember what Borderlands used to be when, like, 72 was the maximum level. I remember the damages were scaled much differently. At that point, I think we were still getting into, like, the 100,000 damage. I mean, yeah, like, with this gun, we are actually reaching, like, 200,000 damage. And granted, this is 34,000 damage times 5 per pellet, so... But with my badass ranks, that pushes that to times 3. So really, that's like almost 100,000 damage a shot. Actually, that's more than 100,000 damage a shot per pellet. and there's 5 pellets, so 500,000 damage. That's a lot of damage. And this gub can go. Like, I don't... Like, okay. Technically, the Marauder's gub is actually better in every conceivable aspect. Damage is 78,000 damage. Accuracy is 87.2. Reload speed's a little quicker. It's just 0.3 seconds faster. It's 3 milliseconds less. So that quicker reload speed with that, with that fat magazine, and a magazine size is the same. It's 110. Granted, it even has a 1.8% slightly higher percentage to corrode things. So really, this only adds an extra. I mean, the zooms, the scopes are different. Same, but different. Actually, but still same. Not necessarily. This scope is completely different from this reflex sight. The only thing that this really gets over the other thing, over this version, is it has a bayonet. And that bayonet only adds an extra 50 damage, which really isn't shit. So
Nice.
we're going to drop that loot out of our inventory. It's pretty much, and I hate to be that guy, but that loot's irrelevant. I mean, it really is irrelevant.
Damn it, it was almost
Oh shit, it spawned another one?
I like that.
What? Okay. Let's keep midget hunting, I guess. I don't know what anyone's saying, but this gub is the shit right now. Like, this is such a badass gun. In 132 rounds, that's a lot of ammunition. I think that's about as good as we are going to get. We're gonna back out and relaunch this shit. That shotgun's just gonna be pretty devastating. And I definitely do feel like the cat class mod is kind of like holding us back a little bit here. In terms of like our general like power level, we're kind of being held back a little bit, it feels like. I'm gonna do one last run and then we are getting off for the night.
That was messy.
Why are you having me read this crap?
You won't enjoy this.
The fuck is this shotgun? That tiny pistol grip is tiny. Teeny tiny. This version of it, the practicable butcher, this is like a god setup butcher. Honestly, I ain't gonna hold y'all. This thing literally has like no recoil. Like it has like a 60% recoil reduction shot per shot, and it stabilizes the more you shoot because it's Hyperion. I don't know what's up with this particular version, but it's like there's like hardly any recoil. I have had some where you like aim down the sight, you go to shoot, and it's like shooting a whole foot away from where you were initially aiming. There's like no recoil whatsoever, bro. It's crazy work. Imagine what Salvador could do with butchers. I know a lot of people run the double penetrating unkept herald. I'm trying not to run that with Maya. You know, I'll be brutally honest. I'm not trying to run that. Just cause like it's on every character I run the same weapon. On Axton, Zero, Salvador, Krieg, even Maya when she was early weapon. I just run that weapon on every character. You know? And it just gets old after so long, you know? It's like, God, you know, I want to try some other things too.
Slag. Stay still.
That shut him up. That's what you get.
Silence. I see a badass!
Incendiary, shock, corrosive, and shield capacity bonuses. That's actually not too bad. Well, that being said, I hate to cut it short. But, well, I mean, we've been streaming for a fat ass minute now. I really want to get going back to bed. I mean, not back to bed, but to bed. I'm tired. I'm defeated. I went through the most bullshit day at work today. Well, I'm tired, guys. Have a good one. Peace out.